Okay.
You can't. Is that all right? Because, you know, it's going to run you until 8 o'clock. I mean, I got a lot of stuff. We can do half today and half next week. That's right.
Okay. Copyrighted. I can read all of that.
Easily? Easily?
Yeah. Reproduced by
bring it. So we can read it. Can you bring it out? Bring it out.
So, see, if you, in the future, you'd have to make your margins a little bit bigger because.
Okay. All right. See, like this one here.
Yeah.
See, that's easy. All right. Then this one here. Yeah. Okay. They can see it's copyright, so they see the copyright notice. Right. That's amazing. Okay. Are we ready?
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Well, then, you want to know about your family, right? You don't man me. Ever man me? You call me Nina. Okay. All right. This is your old aunt who's going to tell you about all I can tell you about all that I know. All right. And I have also done a little bit of research for you because I want to have it so you can pass it on down for your family and all the rest of the families, the generations to come, hopefully. Now we're going to start out, Weldon, with. Can you see this, Ari?
Yes.
You can't come over. I have to put on my glasses to do it myself, folks. John Stroud. Now, he or his father came from England. Stroud, let me show you what Stroud is the name of a town in England. Okay. Now, this is Oklahoma. You don't want that. You want England. Okay. All right. Now, let's see. Can you take that little slip out? Let's out that. Okay. Now you see right here. Let me see that. Let me find it again for you. Wait a minute, just a minute. Oh, got it. I can't see it. Oh. See here? Where the little circle is?
Yes. Okay.
See a little circle?
Right.
Right there. That's Stroud in Gloucester County in England. Okay? And that's where your ancestors came from with the name Stroud. A long time ago. Now, they came to Maryland first, and there are quite a few Strouds who came from England. Stroud is an English word meaning a bog or a marsh or low-lying grounds. And there are variations of that. Stroud and Stroud are the variations. Now, there is a coat of arms that goes with the name Stroud, but I'm not sure that it belongs to us at all. Because I believe that the people who came from England to the United States, who named Stroud, came because they were poor. Certainly those who located in Georgia. And that's where John Stroud was. I found him at one time to get these things out. Okay, here's John Stroud. You can see. Here he is. Right there. Now this was the 1820 census of Georgia. And there were what? Two female children, two males, and his wife. Okay. These are the slaves. He had none. So I'm convinced he was poor white. Okay? See, they took in Georgia in those days, these were the slaves, but these were the white people. So I'm convinced that he was not well off. Some people think maybe the reason my brother was named Almeritt Lord Benning was because there was some relationship to the House of Lords in England, but I don't think so. I think the closest it comes is probably from Burke's Peerage has these colonial families of the United States, and there was an Edward Cornwall Deans long time ago in England who married an Elizabeth Stroud. So that's why I think they got that business of the House of Lords. Of the royalty. But I don't believe that it belongs to us. Anyway, it doesn't matter now. Certainly doesn't matter now. Okay, now then. We got John Stroud, who had two sons, Ethan and Benton. Ethan is here on the chart. Let's see. Would you like to have the chart here or up? Or up? Is that all right? Is that better? All right. Now, Ethan. Oh, by the way, John Stroud was married to Sally Phillips. Okay. And we don't know where she was born. Ethan was born in 1783. Okay. Now, that was before the United States was a nation. 1783. Because it was 1787. And from 1781 to 1787, you got the colonial government under the Articles of Confederation. That's right. It was Confederacy. That's right. George Washington was elected president, became president in 1788 or 1789. I'm not sure. Anyway, the Constitution was written in 1788, but it had to be ratified by all of the states. So it was in that period. So he was born before this was a nation. Yes. Okay. And I do have that from the census. Mm-hmm. Also from the Handbook of Texas when they trace the history of the Stroud family. Okay. Now he married this Ethan married Nancy Trammell. She was from Tennessee. At one time, Tennessee was a part of Georgia. In the old colonial days, it was. Okay. Now, they had these children. They had 6 children, including Mandred. Okay. Mandred is my great-grandfather. Louder. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Mandred is my great-grandfather. Now, Mandred, Ethan, moved, and Bedin, the 2 boys of John's, moved into Mississippi. Because, see, that was the same around the same time that you had the Indians being removed from those lands, from the Creeks and the Cherokees and Choctaws, Chickasaws, and the rest of them. Okay? So you have these people that they moved the Indians off the lands. The United States Army did. And then the settlers came in and just practically took land. All they had to do was really claim it. Mm-hmm. So they got themselves some land. He and Ethan and Bedin did. And then they became farmers. And then they became wealthy. Mm-hmm. You follow? You follow me there. Now, they moved into Mississippi and got this land, you see. And there they began to be planters, they call them, plantation owners. And acquired some slaves and started planting cotton. Well, they're doing well in Mississippi. And Austin, what was his name? Austin, the founder of Texas. Well, anyway, John Austin, I think. I think that's right. Anyway, he came to Mississippi recruiting families to come into Texas. Now, remember, at that time, Texas belonged to Mexico. It was a province of Mexico, and it was ruled by a Mexican governor. The governor asked Austin to recruit 2,000, he called them, foreign families, meaning white people, right, and recruit them into Texas to help him fight the Indians. In other words, the Spaniards took the land from the Indians, and then the Americans, the Europeans, the English people decided to take the land from the Spanish. Okay. So you had the Battle of Alamo and all of those things. But those settlers that came in from Mississippi and other places that had been recruited by Austin were the first families in Texas. So the Strouds are very prominent in Texas. Well, Austin gave them land. You understand? And Ethan got plenty. According to the census of 1840, I believe it was, in that one, he had $49,000 worth of land. Now, when you realize that the land was practically given to them, and you can figure it at about 12 cents an acre, you know how much land he had. Well, Mandred, who is our ancestor, Mandred Stroud, he had 3 plantations, and the value of his land was about $20,000, according to the census of 1850. So, if you think about 12 cents an acre, you know we're talking about 25,000 acres, something like that. Okay? Lots of land. Now, Ethan had was settled near a Tabacani Indian trading post or place where they used to come and camp. He was what you might call a liaison officer between that particular tribe of Indians and the government in Austin. You follow? Mm-hmm. So he got very, very friendly with them, according to his handbook of Texas. Now, Mandred, being his son, also got friendly. All right. But Mandred married Nancy Trammell, as I said. I mean, his father, Ethan, married. And so Mandred was married to Narcissus. I remember my father talking about Narcissus. Miss Narcissus, they called her. All right. So what he did, Mandred did, was he had an affair with one of these Taokana Indian women. Okay. She was the mother of his child, but instead of rearing that child herself, she took her baby and put it on Mandred's doorstep. She took it to the big house and said, "Here's yours," and left. And no one has ever seen or heard of her since then, or her tribe. I mean, they went off. And we think that she did it because they probably would not accept the half-breed. Maybe. But anyway, he was reared then in the big house. Now, the only way that his wife would accept the situation, and you can imagine the situation, was that the little boy, his name was Lewis. They spell it Lewis, by the way. And that's whom you're named after. Lewis grew up in the big house with the white family, but he wasn't an accepted member of the family. He had to sit at a table to one side of the big table where they dined. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And he was kind of pushed around and mistreated badly. But I just think that Narcissus did a good job even to have him there. So, yeah. So I have to take my glasses off for just a second. So I just think that she did a good job just to have him there. However, he was considered a slave. Now, he was, of course, Mandred's favorite son, though. And so as a slave, Mandred made him the overseer of one plantation. And that's the one they lived on. It was 10,000 acres, had 300 slaves. And Lewis was the overseer, which is the manager. There was a slave driver. And if you know, as I was saying to you, Alvin, Lewis managed this 10,000 acres. Mm-hmm. Now, he wanted to get married, as all young men do. And he decided he wanted to marry a slave girl. Well, Mandred didn't like that at all. He wanted him to marry one of the house servant girls in one of those Stroud households. There were several Stroud households who would probably be mulatto. You understand what I'm saying? And he didn't want him to marry a black African, a slave girl, a girl out in the field. Well, Narcissus had a maid, a little handmaid, and I guess you'd call it. And her name was Kimball. Kimbal is the way my people spelt it. And this is where we believe the African connection comes in. This slave girl, who was 100% African,